Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Kitchen Chronicles. Today, we're diving into the world of kitchen vocabulary eyes, those essential words that can make or break your cooking experience. You know, it's funny, I remember the first time I tried to bake a cake. I was so excited, but I had no idea what an oven was. I ended up trying to bake it on the stove. Spoiler alert, it didn't turn out well. So, let's get started with some of the most common kitchen-related English words.
Oh, wow, that sounds super interesting. So, what's the first word we're talking about?
The first word is stove. You know, that magical appliance where all the heat happens. For example, I cooked soup on the stove last night. It's like the heart of the kitchen, right?
Right. So, is it true that some people actually use their stove for, like, everything? I mean, can you cook a cake on it too?
Well, technically, you can cook a cake on the stove if you have a special pan, but it's not ideal. The oven is really where the magic happens for baking. Speaking of which, the next word is oven. The cake is baking in the oven as we speak.
Oh, that's so cool. So, what's the difference between a stove and an oven? Like, can you use them at the same time?
Great question. The stove is typically the top part where you have burners, and the oven is the enclosed space below where you bake things. And yes, you can absolutely use them at the same time. It's like multitasking in the kitchen.
Multitasking. I can barely multitask in life. So, what's next?
Next up is refrigerator, or as most of us call it, the fridge. It's where you keep all your perishable items. For instance, please put the milk in the refrigerator. It's crucial for keeping things fresh.
Oh, I love my fridge, but what happens if you forget to put something in there? Like, can it really go bad that quickly?
Absolutely. Some things can spoil in just a few hours if left out. It's like a ticking time bomb for food. Now, let's talk about the sink. She is washing the dishes in the sink. It's where all the cleanup happens.
Oh man, I hate doing dishes. So, do you have any tips for making it less painful?
Well, I always try to wash as I go. It's like a dance cleaning while cooking. And then there's the counter, where all the prep work happens. The vegetables are on the kitchen counter, ready to be chopped.
Wow, that's a lot of chopping. So, do you have a favorite vegetable to chop?
I love chopping onions. It's a bit of a tearjerker, but the flavor is worth it. Speaking of chopping, let's move on to the cutting board. You chop the onions on the cutting board.
Cutting boards. I always wonder, how do you keep them clean?
Great question. It's important to wash them properly to avoid cross-contamination. And then we have the knife. Be careful when using the knife. It's your best friend in the kitchen, but also can be dangerous if not handled properly.
Oh gosh, I've had my fair share of kitchen accidents. So, what's the best way to handle a knife safely?
Always cut away from yourself and keep your fingers tucked in. It's like a dance with the knifeste in control. Now, let's talk about pots and pans. The soup is boiling in the pot, and she fried eggs in the pan.
Yum! I love fried eggs. So, is there a difference between a pot and a pan?
Yes. Pots are usually deeper and used for boiling, while pans are shallower and great for frying. And then we have the spatula. Use a spatula to flip the pancakes.
Pancakes! Oh man, I could eat those every day. So, what's the secret to flipping them perfectly?
Timing is everything. Wait until you see bubbles on the surface before flipping. It's like waiting for the perfect moment in life.
I love that analogy. So, what's next?
Next, we have spoons and forks. Stir the soup with a spoon, and he ate the pasta with a fork. These are your basic utensils, but they're essential.
Right. So, do you have a favorite utensil?
I'd say the spoon. It's versatile and comforting. Now, let's not forget about plates and bowls. Put the food on the plate, and she served the rice in a bowl.
Oh, I love a good bowl of rice. So, do you think the type of plate or bowl matters?
Absolutely! Presentation is key in cooking. It's like dressing up for a special occasion. And then we have the dishwasher. Load the dirty dishes into the dishwasher.
Oh, thank goodness for dishwashers. So, do you think they really save time?
Definitely. It's like having a little helper in the kitchen. And finally, we have towels, aprons, and ladles. Dry the dishes with a towel, she wore an apron while cooking, and use a ladle to serve the soup.
Wow, that's a lot of kitchen vocabulary. So, do you have a favorite kitchen tool?
I'd say the blender. It's perfect for making smoothies. You can whip up something delicious in no time.
Oh, I love smoothies. So, what's your go-to smoothie recipe?
I love a classic banana and spinach smoothie. It's healthy and delicious. And there you have it, folks. A whirlwind tour of kitchen vocabulary.
Wow, that was so much fun. Thanks for sharing all this, knowledge.
Anytime. Remember, the kitchen is a place of creativity and joy. Happy cooking, everyone.